Hey guys, this slide shows us what we have left for the rest of the 2019-2020 school year. You can see there's 5 things that we wanted to study in geometry. We've completed numbers 1 and 2. And the next thing we're going to study is something called transformations. So let's jump right on into it. Transformations means movement. So we're going to study this movement on the coordinate plane. So you can see right here, I've drawn a y-axis, I've drawn an x-axis, put it on grid paper on purpose so that we could see how it's scaled. And then of course, if we're going to move something, we need an object. And you can see in this case, I decided to draw a triangle in the first quadrant. All right, so there are officially 4 ways that you can move an object. You can do something called a slide, all right? You can move this thing horizontally to the right. You can move it horizontally to the left. You can move it vertically up. You can move it vertically down. And you can do a combination of the two, just like that. That's called a slide. The other thing you can do is something called a rotation, or a turn. As you can see right here. Whoops. Let's put that back where it was. And these turns can go clockwise, they can go counterclockwise. And they can be done around any point. So I could actually turn it around anything that I wanted to, like so. Another way to move it is something called a flip. So if we use, let's say, the y-axis as a line of symmetry, I could flip this thing and it would look like this. We could also use the x-axis as a line of symmetry and I could flip it vertically, like so. Now there's a 4th transformation. That 4th transformation is called a dilation, and that makes this shape get bigger and smaller. But we're not going to study that one right away. That one fits a little bit better into the similarity and congruence section, so we're going to save it for that. So right now we're going to study just 3 of the 4 transformations. So we've got the slide, we've got the turn, and we've got the flip. All right. All right. The slide, the turn, and the flip. So in a math book, they have more, I guess, what you'd call mathematical words for these things. So a slide is a lot of times called a translation. So whenever you move something left, right, up, or down, that's called a translation. The turn, as we saw, I think you may have heard me even mention it, is actually called a rotation. And then the flip is called a reflection. So these ones that you see on the right-hand side, the translation, the rotation, and the reflection, those are the words that I'll be using as we study transformations. We'll study each one of these transformations one by one, starting with rotation. So if you move on to the next video, we'll study how to rotate an object 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and 270.